Hype.
All right, take two.
All right, all right. So yeah, this game is considered to be a very difficult game, but really, it's just a really good game, and it's not easy. Definitely one of the best 3D action games I've ever played. And I'll just be playing this on normal difficulty. It actually has 3 levels above that. So this shouldn't be too hard, but getting started with some just basic movement. And I do want to explain this concept called ultimate techniques. I'm going to break this torch right in front of me, and when I do, you're going to see a little yellow orb get dropped. And that has 2 functions. First of all, it works as money, but second of all, it can be used to charge up special attacks. So you might have seen the yellow orb actually just came in through the window right there, because I left it behind. It exists for 10 seconds. And I was able to pull that in and use a technique called an ultimate technique, that move right there. And I'm going to be calling that a UT from now on, just for reference, because I'll be saying that a lot. And that's whenever you use 2 of the yellow orbs for 1 attack. And not only is that attack stronger than most of the other attacks you do, when you kill an enemy with that attack, you're actually going to get more money dropped from that enemy. So it plays a big role in getting money.
Yeah, I'd say the money route is like pretty tight between the beginning of the game and like chapter 3 or 4. You really have to pay attention to your money. It's pretty tight.
Yeah, and the main reason for that is all of your weapons can be upgraded by purchasing upgrades, and if you don't get those, then you're going to have some really slow fights. And of course, it's always nice to be able to afford some potions. The game just gives you so many potions though at the beginning though on this difficulty.
Yeah, the Great Spirit Elixirs, they restore your health to full. Whereas the regular ones, you know, they restore like a little small percentage or whatever. But like you said, normal gives you a ton of the Great Spirit Elixirs. But even still, the run is still pretty intimidating. This room can be really trolly. There's like a lot of RNG with the guys, like they dodge you or not. So you just kind of have to like, and that's one thing with this game is that like a lot of speedruns, they're kind of muscle memory for the most part. But this game is very improv. Like basically every fight will never go the same because you have to make decisions on the fly based on what happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like RNG in a way, but it's also a large part execution.
Yeah.
But
so this guy is, I'd say most players probably rage quit at this boss. I'm going to say that quite a bit for every boss. But if you get a certain distance from Mirai, he will roll at you. And then after he gets done rolling, you can X, Y, and then on landing, Y. And you can cheese him pretty hard like that. But even still, he can block your attack and just ruin your speed run.
Cool. So that's chapter 1.
Yeah. I'd say beating chapter 1 puts you in like the 1% or less.
So after every chapter, there's going to be a point Kali screen, and then usually just a lot of running around. So now would be a good time for donations.
Absolutely. I have one from Esther24. It's for $25. And it says Power Up Audio and Jeff Tangsock are the bee's knees. Do we have time for one more?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is a $10 donation here. It's from Dog Isle. It says, here for a great time with a great announcer. Go MSF.
So I guess like a little brief history on Ninja Gaiden Black. There was a guy named Josh Mangini, and I think he did the run in about 2006, so it's like a long time ago. And we didn't really do RTA like back when that was submitted. we always did in-game time because it's like a really convenient way. You don't have to like run a timer or anything. And he did a run in 1:55.24, and there were not really many people who did runs of this game. Like, not really a whole lot of people did speed runs of Ninja Gaiden Black. But that was, like, considered the record. And whenever I saw that run, I challenged it. Back in, like, 2013, I did this run, and Mike was really influenced by that run. And,
for sure.
Like, since then, I wouldn't say this community has, like, a ton of runners, but the runners who do run this game are like incredibly good. They're insanely good. They have a lot of knowledge about the game, and they're just amazing in general.
Yeah. So what I'm hoping is that by watching this run, we can get some more people into this game. Really love to see this community grow. One thing I did want to point out is that this game is pretty pure as far as a speed game goes. There aren't hardly any glitches that are used, and it's mostly just playing through the game like you normally would, with good movement and just good knowledge of fast ways to kill the enemies. Here I got a technique called Inferno. It's referred to as a Ninpo, and has an AoE splash attack followed by a projectile. And with that, I can knock them both down. And then we're going to have a second set of horsemen here, and I use what's called a Devil's Elixir to restore my Ninpo charge. That's that little fireball. And with that, I can do this, quickly finish that fight.
Okay, that strat was really sick.
That was pretty
Yeah,
clean.
that was good.
It usually doesn't go that well. So.
So this is a learning experience for me, because I haven't seen a modern run of this game, and now you're just blowing my mind right now.
Well, you might have your mind blown at how bad this fight goes, because this guy is...
So if you get past chapter 1, this is where most people rage quit.
Yeah, right, exactly.
This boss is legit. It's just ridiculous.
Like, the fastest way to kill him is with arrows, but
Yeah.
your arrows auto-targeting are sometimes really bad. Ooh.
Yeah.
How did that not work?
And like, the bow and arrow is so weird too, because you'll land an arrow in the same spot where, you know, you hit, like the guy, and then randomly they just won't take damage from it. They'll like block it or something. It's just so weird. Like I was saying earlier, there really is no muscle memory in this game. It's based on, you just have to improv everything. So there you go.
That's really good.
So now would be a good time for more donations, if you're ready.
Well, Canis, we're getting a ton of them in. Here's a $1,000 donation. Woo! And it's from Cassini, 2K4. And Cassini says, much Ninja Gaidens, such Ninja Gaidens, Ninja hype. I have a $15 donation from Elusive Jigsaw. Elusive says, after recently starting collecting vinyl, it became clear that I had to donate for a chance of getting one of the best NES game OSTs. Good luck to all the runners.
All right, so this level is one of the, well, it's basically the last level of the intro sequence of the game. We're on an airship on the way to basically like the central hub where all the game's action goes in.
You know, like, after you beat Chapter 2, Ryu changes into a really sick outfit. But if you beat the game on a certain condition, you can keep like the original costume, but Mike prefers.
That guy had a lot of extra HP there.
Yeah, this game's like really odd. You'll do the same attacks against the same enemies, and they just won't die for some reason. It's like the slashes do random damage at times. It's just an odd mechanic.
Speaking of mechanics, here's another good example of the yellow orb mechanic here. So I left a yellow orb from the last fight, so that still exists for 10 seconds. I can bring it into this fight to immediately start with like a one-shot KO attack.
Yeah, so like the black soldier, it's like RNG. Mike wanted the black soldier to go on his side because they're a lot harder to kill. And like, it's just a 50-50.
So you might notice that room had a gold scarab in it. Gold scarabs in this game are used to unlock special items. There's 50 total. And they actually, if you played Ocarina of Time, they're just like gold skull toys. But
That's a pretty good analogy, actually. Yeah.
we're going to skip those, though. It's not really worth in the speedrun. It's a close call, but with testing, I found that the time it takes to grab those isn't quite worth the benefits. And if I was fast enough, had another chained yellow into this fight.
Yeah, there's been like several route testings, like collect 15, 20 scarabs. Because if you, what is it, 20? You get the cloud sword, pretty much, like the the Buster sword. Yeah, it's called like the Dibillero or something, and that's supposed to be useful in like later chapters. But then, you know, Mike did a lot of work with this game as far as testing, because there really hasn't been a whole lot. Like as far as testing goes, we just kind of like develop strats, and we think they're faster, but we don't know. But Mike did a lot of lab work, and he found out what's actually faster. So
Yeah. And that's also why I say I really hope the community for this game can grow, because the more people we have working on the route, the more advanced it can get.
Oh, by the way, that bridge he just crossed, if you fall down, you game over.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
the end of the run.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
we didn't mention the Talisman of Rebirth, actually. Probably want to mention that. There's an item called the Talisman of Rebirth that I got in Chapter 1, and what that does is it brings you back to life if you die, but not if you die by falling in a pit, which is what made me think of that.
He's not beat from Mega Man. He's not gonna bring you back.
Same with drowning.
Yeah, it doesn't work when you drown. Yeah, basically,
Yeah, I was
that's a little monkey ass right there. That's that jump right there. Basically, like in this game, if you don't save, like let's say he were to die there, he would have had to restart the entire run, because it would have brought him back to Chapter 1, and that's just how this game works. It just kind of punishes you like that. But obviously, Mike isn't gonna YOLO and not save. That was pretty
Yeah, that's why I grabbed smoke bombs. For certain enemy types, they work very well for disorienting the enemy, and when that happens, it completely lowers their defenses. So you could hit them with anything and they won't block it. But yeah, that's actually one of my favorite strats in the whole run.
How often do you use those?
And through chapters 3 and 5, I use almost all 15 of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, mostly just to avoid annoying enemies that will try to like hit you as you go by.
Of course. Okay.
All right, we are past the dangerous pits section, which is probably the scariest part of the whole.
Like whenever you jumped across the bridge, I was like, because I didn't want to see you fall, man.
Oh, man, I got this. As I slash the
You
bunk
do got
beds.
this.
All right, so yeah, here's another good example. Using smoke bombs, those guys have no idea what's going on now, and I can just climb up there.
That was pretty clean.
If they touch you while you're climbing up there, they'll just knock you down.
Yeah.
You don't want to mess with that.
So that's what, your third Great Spirit Elixir, your second or something?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll know when I'm full.
Yeah. No save? Okay, I respect that. Okay.
Don't worry, man. I got back on
Well,
saves.
okay, you're running it. I trust you. Yeah. Okay.
So coming up on the boss of Chapter 3 here, this guy is another RNG fest. He has a move wherein he summons a force field.
guy.
And when he does that, you lose 10 seconds because you can't possibly harm him. And you just got to hope he doesn't do it. But he is also very vulnerable to smoke bombs. So I'm going to be abusing those quite a bit.
I think you ate a few too many cheeseburgers.
His attack pattern is pretty predictable, though. After he does his horizontal swipe, he's almost always going to do a grab. And when he does that, is when you can finally attack. I'm going to actually go ahead and use a second fire wheels here. I used to think fire wheels is useless, but they actually are
Yeah,
pretty
that was
useful.
pretty much like the best RNG you can get.
Yeah, he didn't use the force field. So
Yeah,
that's
the
great.
force field. Oh my god, that's so annoying. He can jump down whenever he wants. Makes this force field and pretty much makes him. You can't touch him for like 15 seconds. It's annoying. It's more annoying for him to do that rather than the time loss. It's just like you just kind of.
You know, plus he has like a bunch of free shots at you where he can
Yeah,
shoot lasers
yeah.
at you, which I mean, quite frankly, in my case, some of those lasers are going to hit me, so
Yeah.
I really prefer you don't do that.
Yeah.
But just running around at this point, so if we have any more donations,
Yeah,
have a good time.
Chapter 4 is kind of like a fetch quest, if you will.
Yeah, it doesn't even have a boss.
Yeah.
Sure, we've got plenty of donations to go. This one's from Louisa L. It's $15. It says, first time donating to GDQ. Just introduced this lovely celebration of speedrunning talent to my brother so we can enjoy it together this summer. Keep up the amazing work. I've also got a $100 donation from Andrine. And Andrine says, SGDQ 2018 is off to a great start, and I hope to catch a few runs this year. This goes to killing the animals.
Good man.
That's what we like to hear.
Killing the animals, dude?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Gotta go fast.
I'll see how it is.
You know, I've got one more here. This one's a short one. This one's from Pete Canis. It's a $25 donation, and it says, way to go, Mike.
Shout out to BKness. Thank you very much.
But yeah, I guess like what Mike was saying about the Talisman Rebirth, it's pretty much your get out of jail free card. Upon death, you basically just get full health, you know, full ninpo and everything like that. Pretty much, you know, you're looking pretty good when you do that. But it does not work under a few conditions like drowning or if you fall off or whatever.
Yep.
But not only is it a good safety item, but you can also use it to your advantage. Like on the final boss, for example, you know, you can purposely take a death and then restore like your ninpo or your health or something like that. So you can use it for speed and safety. It's a really cool item.
In a perfect world, we won't use that before the final boss.
Yes.
That's always the goal, but
Yeah.
it doesn't always work.
Yeah, I'm just happy I got past the Samurai Horseman. Like,
Yeah.
I've lost my talisman to him before, and it's like, oh shoot, I better reset.
This is a brutal run, and I commend you for doing this, because this is a hard run. There's a lot of run killers. Yeah, and a lot of like, oh, make one mistake, run's dead.
Right.
So there's not really a lot of safe strats that you can really take.
No, not really. It's kind of one of those things where if you start playing safer, it's not actually safer. Like you're putting yourself more at
Yeah,
risk.
you're definitely better off going with what you've practiced.
Yeah.
I just want to let this guy be on camera for a second because he's amazing.
Do you have a ticket for the party?
Okay. He's like a very slow Lawrence Fishburne.
I mean, he's like unarmed. Ryu Hayabusa has a sword. It's like, what is he gonna do?
Right there, Smoke Bomb is a good example. Like getting in that door.
Yeah, that can be annoying, for sure. Yeah.
So this is the shop guy. I've actually already shopped with him at basically these statues you find throughout the game. You can buy from him, but this is his actual shop.
Yeah.
And you had to meet him to get a ticket to proceed further in the game. Also in this chapter, I got an item called the Spirit of the Devil. What that does is that increases my max ninpo count. So again, those are the empty flame-shaped things under the health bar. And that costs only about 17 seconds to get, but it's going to save me a ton of time at the end of the game.
Yeah. And then if you get like an extra one or something like that, ideally you want to use it before the chapter ends, since you do, you know, your full health, full ninpo on the start of the next chapter. So you can also you use it strategically as well. This game has a lot of interesting strats, and it's very open to route changes and optimizations, stuff like that. But I think Mike's done a pretty good job as of late, right, strat hunting, testing things and stuff like that. So
Yeah, in the last couple of weeks, he did some research on ninpo routing in particular. So
yeah.
he's had some good success with that.
Yeah, I found that we haven't been using the Ninpo potions that we get very effectively. I mean, you have these really powerful attacks that can pretty much kill most enemies in one hit, and we weren't even using some of them, so now I try to make use of many potions as I possibly can that are more or less along the way.
Yeah.
But just running around at this point, we can do some more donations.
Sure, Canis, I think some of your promo of this game is having a positive effect on the watchers, the viewers, because there's one here from SL the FMA. It's for $15, and they say that Ninja Gaiden Black is easily one of my favorite games, and I enjoy all the other Ninja Gaiden games very much. Still waiting for Ninja Gaiden 4. Also, yeah, save the animals on this one.
I've been waiting too, so yeah.
I have a $50 donation from Anonymous. Anonymous says, I've watched GDQ every year. Happy to see Ninja Gaiden Black being run. One of my favorite games on the Xbox. I love what all you guys are doing, and it's all for a great cause. Good luck to everyone.
So that right there, what he just did, normally you cannot open this door until you kill all the ninja guys or whatever. But if you exit that area, it pretty much despawns them. But what Mike did was he went outside of the area that you have to kill him, and he despawned them, but he also went back into the area at the same time that they despawned. So the game thought, like, he pretty much like outsped the game, thinking that he killed he despawned the soldiers, but he went back in. So you don't have to fight him, and fighting those guys are annoying.
Oh, yeah.
So I'd say that it saves upwards of like 30 seconds.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So it's a huge time saver.
It's not just the time, it's the fact that they will often hit you and take you.
Yeah, you save, yeah.
Here's an example of a time when people weren't using Ninpo. Like, this fight's just like a perfect time to use it, and people weren't doing it. Unfortunately, didn't finish this guy off. Yeah. No big deal.
Still, that strat was super clean.
Yeah, the fireball is absurdly powerful, even at level 1. And like the aura of the fireball is actually like the most powerful part.
Yep. And there's this fight coming up here with these red demon things, and we used to use one Inferno on them, but found by far the fastest way to handle these guys is to go ahead and just use one of the Ninpo potions that I picked up to kill all 3 with them. I'm surprised that one didn't die already, and that is unfortunate.
He got you.
But yeah, just pop that, and what is going on? I'm surprised they're not dying already.
Ninja Gaiden Black, dude. Oh, you got dropped?
Oh yeah, so sometimes you get red orbs to drop from enemies.
Yeah, that'll come in handy for this.
Yeah. I'm probably not going to do that though, just because I'd have to switch to fire wheels.
Yeah. So getting red drops, that's nice. You get an Ninpo restoration. You can cut down on potion consumption, going into your menu unnecessary times. There will be times when Mike is going to try to get lucky and maybe get one of those. Ideally, that's probably the best way to go about doing the speedrun for this game. It's just entirely random, so it's just a crapshoot, but if you get lucky, you can get heavily rewarded.
Mm-hmm. I am actually going to use fire wheels on this guy because I did not do as much damage as I was supposed to the first time I stunned him, so that was the only way I would have been able to 2-cycle him.
Yeah.
But yep, there's that fight. And
yeah.
Let's see,
beat the tentacle
5.
monster.
We will never see that boss again.
Yeah. No. No.
I've never seen that boss before. A few other people haven't either because they keep sending in donations saying how hard this game is. Hoppy sends in $100 and he says, this brings me back to Ninja Gaiden 2 on Xbox Master Ninja mode. Toughest time I ever had beating a game. Also, Ryu would kill the animals.
I agree.
Probably, yeah.
As long as they're birds.
Yeah. Yeah. This thing is like alternate form. He turns into like a raven or something. I don't know.
And we were talking in the practice room before the run about how more or less anything in this game that is not touching the ground might as well qualify as a bird for how much of a jerk it can be.
Yeah.
We're about to fight some of those birds. In this next fight and the one after are among the most annoying fights in the game that aren't bosses.
What are they called? The monk fiends or
Yeah,
whatever?
monk bird
Man,
fiends.
these guys are...
The monka-esque
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, the big things with the scythes, what's really annoying about them is they can actually just fly off into the ceiling and just like be like, see ya, I'll come back to fight you sometime, but you're at my mercy.
Yeah, your jumping axe is a really effective attack to use against them because, yeah, okay, that was nice.
That was nice.
Yeah, because those guys, they can just dodge your attacks like whenever they want. You just do the jumping axe and they just teleport and they come up behind you. It's just.
Yeah, I've lost 20 seconds in that fight before just because one's flying up by the ceiling, like basically out of bounds.
Yeah, that's good.
So we got another fight just like that now, but this one's different because I just picked up a new item, the Incinerator Shuriken.
Very shurikens, boys.
And those are pretty good against the monk fiends.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely. I'd say the Incinerator Shurikens are probably the best projectile item. Maybe the bow. I don't know.
I feel like some of the bow cores you get later in the game are pretty good too.
Yeah. Yeah, see, yeah, to fill the puzzle. Yeah, that puzzle is pretty easy. Like, you can just kind of cheese that. Yeah, this fight's basically a repeat of the last one.
Yeah, it's got
except
more
you have
of them.
3 monk-ass fiends, and then you have more of the little yellow guys. I don't know what to call them. But they're equally as annoying. Yeah. So Ryu just straight up didn't target the enemy. He's just having a day off.
Wow, he just he just came over. He wanted to get involved. He's like, ooh, I want some of that.
He's trying to square up, man.
Yo, let me see what's up with that sword.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I was saying, there is no muscle memory in this game. Whenever you're doing a speed run, you pretty much just, it's more, you get rewarded for the knowledge that you have for this game, what the enemies do, their behavior. You know, there's a lot more to it than just looking at the run, copy and pasting what, you know, whoever's run is doing, and then going about doing that. Like, you have to practice the fights, just have like a lot of knowledge on the game in general in order to be a good speedrunner of this game. Like, you have to actually put in like a lot of work. So it just places a book on a pedestal and...
Of course it unlocks the underground.
I mean...
Yeah, that's how that works, right?
Yeah, there's these bats with me.
So Mike wasn't like killing the bats for like resources or anything. The bats actually, they heavily take priority. Let's say you try to open a door. Ryu pretty much basically prioritizes killing the bats over opening the doors. So you're gonna see him do that like a few times.
It's very annoying in this game, actually. Yeah. The same button you press to open doors is the same you use to attack.
Flawless game design.
So in this Indiana Jones sequence right here, I'm doing a technique called on-landing jumps, where before you land, you go neutral on the D-pad, and if you jump with the right timing, you can avoid damage to the legs.
Yeah, I think you get like a small window of iframes or something like that.
Yeah.
And in addition, it looks cool and goes fast.
It does, yeah.
So this jump is a little scary.
Dude.
Pretty good. I practice it, man. Don't
Yeah.
worry. But yeah, if you miss that, you die.
Yeah, just you fall down. Okay, reset.
Not today.
Yeah, you haven't even saved yet, man. Yeah. Yeah, that one you don't. Yeah, I think it's like a certain distance that Ryu falls will trigger a death, but obviously that one you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, I mean, it was only 70 feet.
Yeah.
Fine.
Ryu ignores like terminal velocity.
So now I'm just waiting for this elevator. Nothing's going on, so if you have more donations, feel free.
Absolutely. I've got a $15 donation from Anonymous, and he says, as a sorta kinda collector of video game vinyls, I had to try and snag that Ninja Gaiden vinyl, also putting this to X2 Buster only to help get the bonus run ball rolling. Let's break the limits. Go Ryu, Hayabusa.
That is a sick name, Ryu Hayabusa. For sure. Like, I would not mind being named Ryu Hayabusa. It'd give me a lot of confidence in high school.
I've got another donation from Gravy Lookout. This is a $25 donation. It says, I spent so many late nights in college trying to beat this game when I should have been studying. It's so hard.
This is another fun fight.
Yeah, these things can be like, all the enemies in the game will be aggressive and come at you when you want them to. Generally, like, these are the one enemies you actually want to come toward you, and they don't.
Yeah. Also, you can get into like a huge combo because Ryu didn't really have high iframes much at all in this game, so you can just get like stung by like 4 or 5 of them in a row, and they can actually kill you in like 1 second. Yeah.
So casually, this room used to take me like 10 minutes, but it turns out the flails are really, really OP against these guys. If you hit them with the final attack of your UT combo, and that's when you absorb 2 or more yellow essences, just that last move alone finished several of them off.
Yeah, it literally is the very last hit. Like, these guys have mad hit points. Like, they tank damage like no other enemy in the game. And like the very final hit, it does one shot, so.
I think you mentioned it's something like 60 or 70% of the combo's damage is focused in the last hit.
Might be all of it. I don't know.
Just about, yeah.
It's pretty strong. Well, yeah. But yeah, and these guys give you like tons of money. So this is where the run starts to kind of ease up on like being, you know, kind of conservative with your money. You still need to be like somewhat conscious about it. But like, you know, these guys, they give you so much money, and you're not really buying a whole lot of stuff at the, like, you're not going to be buying a whole lot of stuff like for a while anyway. You know, a couple upgrades here and there, but, you know.
So here comes that out of bounds that happened earlier, Demon. Okay,
Yeah,
not
okay,
this
we didn't
time.
get it, nice.
Yeah, so in the
tech?
practice room, we accidentally got an out of bounds going through that door right there, and it was essentially a saw block. I'd never seen it before until the practice room just now, so kind of glad that didn't happen. Yeah.
It definitely looked interesting for
It
sure.
would have been like, well, that's never happened before moment for GDQ.
So once the elevator stops, all you need to do is kill the zombie that spawns closest to the switch, and that should make it rise back up again. So you want to prioritize that guy.
Yeah, and then sometimes you can actually, because Ryu continues his UT during the cutscene, and if you get lucky, like the guy will fall down in a position to where you'll kill the guy that's necessary in order to activate that switch during the cutscene, so there's no waiting involved at all.
So these bats, I can just go up this ladder right
Dude,
now.
I thought you were going to do it.
No,
I was like,
not
don't
that
do
good.
that, dude.
Yes, they're bats. Yes, they do the least amount of damage possible. But when you're climbing this ladder, you're in a cutscene. You have no control over anything, and you still take damage to the bats. Anyway, coming up here, I do want to focus. This is one of the harder parts of the run, I think. Getting past these zombie archer guys. Using incinerators to stun that one. And when I get here, stun him right away. Fall down, because why not?
But that manipulates RNG.
Yep.
It's all part of the plan.
So, when they're off screen, the incinerators are more likely to hit them. So I'm kind of manipulating the camera. Alright, now we got it. There we go.
There we go.
That's what we want to see.
That jump is super trolly, and so many things can go wrong. It's not even funny. Like, there are too many variables trying to get across those platforms. quickly.
Yeah, exactly. I kinda
Sometimes
rushed.
your jump just doesn't even work, and you just fall down like anyway. Did I just see you not save?
Why would I save, dude?
You're going for You're going for world record. Okay, okay.
I don't think that'll happen, but
It's going for.
this boss is extremely easy, but he can also waste a lot of time. He's easy from a survival perspective, but depending on what he does, sometimes you can just lose 30 seconds because you can't attack. So right there, that tail swipe, when he does that, you're just waiting for the swipe to end, and there you go. You've done it twice in a row.
Yeah, you got. Yeah. See, you can play this fight a little bit safer. Obviously, Mike isn't really an advocate for playing safely right now, but you kind of just like have to anticipate the Bone Dragon, whatever his name is, and he can do like certain actions. Yeah, he's controlling you a lot. So, I mean, it's best not to go like full in. That's
And he is
Unbelievable,
not
dude.
giving you a good pattern here.
That is the worst pattern you could possibly get. Just tail swipe after tail swipe. No big deal though. It's still pretty decent pace. That was stupid.
Yeah, there you go.
I should have been able to avoid that.
oh my God, dude.
Don't be scared, man. Don't be scared. We got it.
I don't know. He just like cost you 30 seconds in RNG.
Yeah, and like 4 potions.
All right, world record pace is dead.
Still 11.
I'd say, well, aside from chapter 15, it's probably the longest chapter in the game.
Yeah. There are 4 chapters I sort of consider the epic chapters. They're sort of like 2 chapters length in one.
Yeah.
And those would be 6, 10, 12, and 15. And they're some of the best too. I don't like 6, but the other 3 I just mentioned I like a lot.
Yeah, 6 is just a lot of like charging UTs and stuff like that. But you do get a lot of money in chapter 6, so that's nice. It's really important that Mike is going to upgrade his weapons at certain times. For example, he's probably going to get level 3 Dragon Sword here. This unlocks, I'd safe to say, the most powerful attack in the game. It's called the Gleaming Blade, and you basically do just a 360, and then I think it's a 360Y, right?
Yeah, 360Y, and it is definitely the best move.
Yeah, and you basically just like you do a giant like F5 tornado like attack, and then you just like one-shots most like normal enemies in the game. It's absurdly strong.
So you're gonna see it right here. Boom.
Like
that's it. That's all.
it's so broken, but you can't just like use it like whenever you want, because Ryu still can take damage during that attack. So you have to be very careful.
That was sort of a sequence break. I don't know if you really called that, but when
We'll
you throw
call it
a
a sequence
shuriken,
break. Yeah.
when you throw a shuriken, you target an enemy near you. So that zombie up on the top ledge was near me. So as soon as I did that, it shifted Ryu's momentum ever so slightly towards him so that you can hop up there. It's actually easier than the intended strat. Like,
It actually
anybody
is,
can do
yeah.
that.
But I think the second room is a little harder.
Yes.
I think the
Yes,
platform's
for
a little
sure.
higher up.
Yeah, the red one, you want to actually try to take the top route if you can,
Yeah.
and only use the shortcut if you need an emergency. So what I'm going to try to do is just really hope I don't get trolled by these arrows, and or get hit by a giant mace like that. Okay, so now you get to see. This skip is the same thing, except it's a lot stricter on the timing. It's hopefully not spend.
There you
okay.
go. There you go. Yay.
That could have been a big time loss. But
Yeah. And the interesting thing about the Gleaming Blade there is that you can actually charge that like a UT, and basically everything dies whenever you do that. It's crazy. And that's going to be this is what Mike is going to do primarily for taking out like single enemies, single bosses, or things like that. He's going to utilize the Gleaming Blade because quite frankly, it does the most damage in the game out of any single attack that
Yep.
he will do. It's crazy.
Yeah, pretty much everything. I still like to use shorter combos when possible, like just counterattack on landing Y for these smaller enemies. But yeah, enemies like this, that's
yeah,
UT.
it's just it's so broken. Yeah. Remember how he said that we weren't going to see this boss?
I lied.
Yeah, he lied. You lied.
Oh.
Yeah, that was pretty tough, dude.
Yeah. I like that fight a lot better than the first one. It was so
Yeah.
satisfying. The tentacles come off easier and then you do more damage.
Yeah, I mean, isn't there a way to one cycle that?
I have not seen it. Maybe there is. So now I'm going to start using all of these. I've been collecting a couple, and that increases the size of my life bar. I chose this moment to do it because, first of all, I just got one, and secondly, you actually have all these life things sitting around so you can fill up your health.
It's efficient.
I did forget to equip something that I was supposed to.
Yeah,
So
I
not
think
so
I know what you're
efficient.
talking about.
Okay, so Jewel of Demon Seal, what that does is it upgrades an impo of your choice. And I used to think Inferno was good to upgrade, but it turns out, nice.
Mistral.
Yeah, nice. Keep it up,
Third?
guys.
No, okay.
I'll be here all day. Just keep it up, guys. But yeah, later on, I still haven't gotten an impo called the Inazuma. And, is that one? Yeah, Inazuma.
Yeah.
It's a light.
I'd say like an Azuma, but tomato.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And that one gets a huge damage increase if you upgrade it, whereas the Inferno just gets like a small amount. So we're going to save that for later on.
Yeah, that one's cool. You basically turn into Raiden from Mortal Kombat for a brief moment. Yeah, Ryu's pretty strong. I don't think I would pick a fight with this guy in a bar.
Yeah, that's for sure.
He's kind of like not human. You can like cast magic and pretty much beat every.
Dude, he's got a sword. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
playing that game.
So coming up on Alma. Alma is easily one of the most aggravating bosses, and another one of those beginner traps where people will just give up.
That is an important key item that will.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a little scary.
Yeah, I thought my game was.
You guys
trying
didn't
to
notice
crash.
like his console had trouble loading there.
Did not want to use that tag.
There we go.
No big deal.
Yeah, so those guys are called the Black Spider Ninja Clan, and they can pretty much just dodge all of your attacks at their own will, whatever they whatever they want to do. So, those are annoying.
Here goes Alma. This is definitely one of the main run killers. All right. That's
Oh,
what I like
baby.
to see.
That is what we like to see right there. Yep. So, what Mike's doing is a strat called Inferno Loops. I mean, if you've made it to, yeah. So basically, he's going to be doing the Inferno, and then he's going to be getting the God Luck, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
What? It doesn't even matter. Like, okay.
Oh,
that was so
bad.
good.
That was
Yeah.
super clean.
Yeah.
So that move where you like sort of lunge forward in the air is called Flying Swallow, and that's a way to stun her, except what you didn't see is that misses like well over 50% of the time, I would say.
Yeah,
So every single one of them hit.
Alma, yeah, that was good. I mean, to be fair, you deserve it. You haven't even saved.
I needed
I
that
would
because-
have given you that RNG. If I was the game, I would have done that for you. But that was the strat called Inferno Loops. You pretty much do the Flying Swallow, knock her down, X, Y, X, X, Y, and then you activate an Inferno, and it pretty much gets her into an infinite combo unless she decides to dodge, But it's a very efficient strat, and doing it otherwise is not exactly recommended. But what makes it worse is that you have to fight her again in Chapter 13.
That
and
fight is awful.
yeah, and that fight's probably 3 times as bad.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's not exactly the same fight. I don't even know what she is. Spider, scorpion, flying. I don't even know, but that's probably the worst fight in the game. I mean, this game has an absurdly large amount of run killers, and the fact that you haven't saved yet still blows my mind.
Well, another thing that's absurd is how like much this game changes in tone throughout it. So what were we doing? We were just you know, underground fighting zombies and like supernatural beasts. Okay, well I guess now it's a sci-fi soldier game now.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna become a ninja game. Like you're always fighting different types of enemies, which I think is one of the most interesting things about this game. But at this point, just running around, I'm backtracking a bit, so feel free to do some donations.
Absolutely. I want to let you know we are getting so many donations in. People love this run, Canis, and I'm trying to get to as many as possible, but I want people to keep donating. We're going to read as many of them as we can. Here's one for you. It's a $100 donation, and it's from Bacon Monk. He says, watch out for the ghost fish, Pajama Ryu.
Yeah.
And Canis, maybe you can explain, what is this about broccoli? Lots of people are donating.
Oh my god.
I'm talking about broccoli.
Well, there's this rumor going around that broccoli is a food that people can consume.
No.
But it's definitely not actually food. And I feel bad for anyone eating it because you're damaging your health.
Those are fighting words.
Lolpock
I
broccoli,
quite
that's all I'm
frankly
gonna say.
love my broccoli, okay? We're going to have to talk after
I
this
have
run.
some emotes to show you after this.
It's
as well.
not food. It's not food.
It's not food.
Data broccoli.
It doesn't exist.
I mean, it exists. It's just like, would you eat an eraser? You know, would you eat this controller? I don't think so. On top of that, it's
If you
bad
like
for your
controller,
health.
if you happen to like Xbox 360 controllers, maybe you'll like them. Maybe you'll eat them.
So Chapter 8, by the way, is one of the few chapters where you don't actually have a boss. It's a lot like Chapter 4, where you just run around this town, but we are almost over yet. But the actual boss of this level is getting into this door.
This door Remember how I said?
I wasn't kidding. I was not kidding when I
Yeah,
said that.
it's
All right.
yikes.
Nice camera.
Camera can get a bit wonky at times during the run. That's another sort of obstacle that you have to face during the run.
All right. So we just upgraded the bow. What that does is more damage per arrow, and it shoots in a more linear like path. So your aiming is better.
These are pretty much the silver arrows.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And,
it's a lot stronger.
would you believe that it's stronger than a tank shell from a tank or helicopter rockets? Well, it is.
Yeah, if you didn't think Ryu was a beast before this, you're gonna see how much of a beast he is in Chapter 9.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff coming up.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
yeah.
More donations if you're ready.
Absolutely. I have a $500 donation from Kurt209. Yeah, big one. Yeah, this run is fascinating and impressive. Go, Mike. I have a $15 donation from Ottawong. Ottawong says, Ryu would do the honorable thing, and he would most definitely save the animals.
That sounds fake.
I don't know, man. I mean, Ryu's like he's a pretty nice dude.
I mean, sure, he's nice, but he also likes going fast.
Speaking of big donations, I have a $500 donation from Anonymous. There's no comment, but he did put it towards killing the animals in Super Metroid.
All right, you guys are about to see one of the first, like, truly, like, speedrunner-ish tech in the game.
Because
We're
you
actually going to do a sequence break here.
Yeah, so there's a couple different ways you can do this. I'd say the way that Mike is going to be doing it is probably the most consistent.
Oh, much more, yeah.
Yeah. Ooh!
First
Nice!
try. Nice.
Nice.
So you aren't supposed to be able to get over to these, catwalks until after doing like 5 minutes of really annoying stuff in this room. And by doing that, you can go right to the top and skip easily one of the most annoying parts of the run. And
So,
go ahead.
oh, well, I was just going to explain the XBY. mechanic. Yeah. Well, you go ahead, man.
No, you go ahead. Man.
No, you do it.
I gotta focus.
Okay. So pretty much now, as we're progressing through the game, we're going to, well, he is, but he's going to be using what's called XBY. And that's pretty much what you're doing is whenever he jumps, he's going to be swashing, throwing his shurikens, and then hitting Y. And that's going to pretty much increase the distance that he can cover and also the height. So he can get like hard to reach. He can pretty much get to ledges that he wasn't supposed to be able to get to otherwise. Like, you know, he did a sequence break right there. And then it's like you got to power on like these platforms and fight these like really annoying like drones and stuff like that. But that's an incredibly useful technique that he's now going to be using throughout the game to clear like hard to reach ledges and stuff like that. And this right here,
This used to be a big run killer for me. This fight right here.
This is dead proof that Ryu Hayabusa is better than a tank.
Absolutely.
So we just got explosive arrows, but now we're even going to upgrade further, and now we have some tank shell core arrows, because that's a thing.
Oof.
And yeah.
Yeah, these are probably the most effective, and like, I don't know how you're supposed to not take damage during. Apparently, it's possible. Good luck. I mean, yeah. If you want to do a no damage run of this game, then I think this would be your biggest obstacle. I don't see how you're supposed to do it.
That was a little slow. Good job, man. All right, so there's actually a sweet spot, though, and that's how I think you would take damage. Let me see if I can demonstrate. So if I aim in a certain spot, it does damage to the main tank, but it also, I had to do that to not take damage there. You can take care of the turret guy and the top main, or the main tank. I should probably just focus on what I'm doing.
Yes. There we
It's
go.
coming.
But yeah, this guy just took out 2 tanks with a bow and
Not
arrow.
one, but 2.
Yeah.
2 tanks. And then more coming up.
Refill these arrows here. So I used 3 big potions there, which are pretty valuable. But here's the thing: this is normal difficulty in this game. You could have a cocktail party with all the great spirit.
Yeah, basically. It might seem like Mike kind of used a lot of his resources there, but like here in the next couple chapters, he's gonna get back up to full, like effortlessly.
You know, this here, these guys can't see me, but I can see them. If you stand on the right part of the stairs, it's really useful.
So after fighting 2 tanks, he's going to be fighting a helicopter. So after he killed the 2 tanks, he basically, all right, call in the big boy. And then right there, what you're able to do during that cutscene is actually go off the screen and then refill your arrows. And yeah. Okay, that was risky, but
He usually doesn't do anything in that until he gets to the ball.
Yeah, no, that's 2 tanks and a chopper with a bow and arrow.
No big deal. Fortunately, I have to use yet another big potion. Hopefully, that's the last I use for a while.
yeah.
I would say we're almost out of the part of the game with hard-hitting enemies, but no, we're just kind of getting started.
No, we're getting started, definitely.
So this radio tower, you just gotta pray.
Yeah, there's usually, like, I think another way to trigger the cutscene for this is to kill all the enemies. But this is a bit of a shortcut. You can just destroy the. I don't even know what you're shooting at.
Satellites, I guess.
And that'll trigger the cutscene there. And then,
I don't want that. Nope.
hey, that was Ayane, giving you some advice, man.
Hey, I just saved 20 seconds on my PB by not falling down. There you go. Gotta look on the bright side. Although my PB did not use like 4 potions in this chapter.
And your PB is what for this game?
It's 155 with real time.
Yeah.
Second place, if I recall.
Yeah, I just got second yesterday. Actually.
Yeah, that's sick, dude. And you're going for world record this run, right?
I mean, that'd be nice.
You're gonna do it.
I wouldn't say no.
You're gonna
if
do
that
it.
happens. So this is really dumb. Basically, you have to go into this room to trigger some events to happen in a room I already visited. So it's just like backtracking needlessly. So now it's another good time for donations.
Certainly, we have a $25 donation from Shibby Dibdub. They say, so glad I could catch this Ninja Gaiden Black run, even if I should have gone to bed an hour ago. Caleb's 2013 HGDQ run was the one that really got me watching GDQ events. Awesome to see this game back as a run. Good luck to the runner, and of course, kill the animals. Got a $50 donation from Blue Eyes White Dragon's Knee.
What?
Said, shout out to my good friend Canis. Good luck on your run from your friends and the Discord channel, and don't forget to eat your broccoli.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dragon.
Quit trying to kill me, though. I'm not eating your broccoli.
You'll eat the broccoli and you like it.
See? Caleb agrees.
I mean, I love broccoli.
Reed doesn't eat
He's
broccoli.
telling me it's not a food.
It isn't.
That's fighting words.
Like, you see, it's not just us, Canis. We all care about you.
Can we start a donation war for broccoli versus no broccoli here? I think,
Hey, bro,
whoever wins gets to decide whether or not we just abolish broccoli. We can just send it all to the sun.
I think you're going to have a lot of people knocking at your door if you do that.
Thanking me, of course. All right. So this part is really stupid. By the way, this pretty much marks the halfway point in the run, and I like the second half a lot better than the first half, so get ready. But in this room, you are forced to wait for 40 seconds doing nothing before you can continue. So perfect time for donations.
Sure, I have one from Shabeus. It's $150. And they say, got off work to find this wonder of a game being played. So happy to see the Ninja Gaiden I grew up with is finally getting time at GDQ. It is a fantastic challenge. I have a $20 donation from Hunk Hill. And they say, totally obsessed with this game as a kid. Love seeing it so expertly run. Glad to support a great cause and a great event. Got one from Michael Neely. Michael Neely says, Ninja Gaiden is the medium well-done steak of video games.
No, medium rare.
Yeah.
Medium rare.
No. No, medium rare.
$25 from I Got Bored. Says good luck to Canis on his run, and shoutouts to Broccoli.
Thank you, IGB.
Thanks, IGB.
Spencer W. Hall sends in $15 to Doctors Without Borders and says, broccoli is a fruit, not a vegetable.
Well, we're getting on a whole nother, that's high IQ right there.
Dude, cosmic brain.
Back to the game. The Great Steel sends $25 and says, I will donate during this run simply to bring awareness. We're still waiting on the next installment, like so many others.
So this is a really cool chapter. There's a lot of different elements that go on into this chapter.
It's actually my favorite chapter in the whole game.
Yeah, I was going to say, it might be my favorite one.
And just look at the environment, like the water effects for the game when this came out. Was it 2004?
Yeah,
It's so
like, it's absurdly good looking for its time.
Yeah,
like, this game has aged, it hasn't even aged a bit.
Yeah.
Like, it still looks so good
There are
for
games coming out
2004.
today that don't have water physics that look this nice, and this was on the first Xbox.
Yeah.
Like, that's unreal.
Like, if you have not played this game, it's the best game that you've never played. Guarantee it. Change your mind. Like, this game is perfect. It's got great music. It's like incredibly fast. I'd say it like pretty much covers every skill level, like of any gamer, you know.
Yeah, you can increase the difficulty as well.
Yeah, like there's a ton of options that you can work with, you know.
Just got Inazuma. That is that spell that I said I would upgrade later. That is going to be the most important Nimpo in the game. come the end. I'm basically, at this point, I'm trying to save most of my supplies for Chapter 15, which is not technically the final chapter, but is basically the final chapter.
It's pretty much the final chapter.
And I'm going to be using so much ninpo in that chapter, it'll be crazy.
So that chest he opened, that's not really required by any means, but it will give him a lot more money. I think there's like maybe 1,000.
5,000 essence, and actually if I didn't get that, I probably wouldn't be able to upgrade my lunar.
Wait,
right
there's 5,000 in that chest?
Yep.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's almost a full upgrade of the lunar, all I'm saying.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, I had no idea there was that much in there.
So I just got another Spirit of the Devils, which is the item that I mentioned, increases your max ninpo capacity. I need to use that before this chapter is over so I can have full for the next chapter, but nice. Thank you, guy. But I'm actually going to save it for later because ideally in this level you can actually go into the menu only a single time. So I want to try to do all the menuing at once. Just a minor time save.
Yeah.
I'll probably have to heal anyway, so
I feel like this speedrun kind of combines like everything. It's got menuing, it's got like RNG that everybody loves, you know. It's got like fast-paced combat, a good soundtrack, aesthetically pleasing. Like this game has it all. It's such a good game. It's insane. It's also known for being like borderline impossible.
This fight right here is actually a pretty big deal. A little bit worried about this because I don't have many potions.
We got
so
two boys.
I got to make sure I do not get hit here, so I won't be talking at all for the rest of this fight.
Yeah, so what Mike is going to be doing is the first fight, he utilized the UT, and during the UT, which is like pretty much the charge attack, it was unfortunate. Yeah, so he's coming at you, man. So during the UT, you pretty much have iframes, like during the activation of it. Because there's two worms that are pulsating with electricity, not really something I'd like to face. Now that there's two of them, he won't be able to utilize that. So he's just pretty much going to have to dodge these attacks, just jumping or whatever.
Now that it's just one, though, it's pretty safe.
Yeah.
Nice, we got the UT on it.
That was nice. So that was an attack that he didn't see, that we did not see like in the first worm fight. They like to charge at you and everything. It's pretty hard to react to, and you don't exactly want to get hit by it. Like they grab you, slam you against the wall. They manhandle you.
So things are perfect now. Like I said, I was worried about potions. I used up all 10 of my capacity of the smaller potions, but
What?
yeah,
I've never seen that.
That's brand new.
What?
That was
super
found
sick.
like very recently. Anyway, now there's a bunch of free potion chests. I'm gonna just one more big potion, and I'll have max big potions. And one of the few planned shopping trips in the game is about to come up. So pretty much that's a big relief.
So we got the red little tablet, and now he's going to get the blue one, and this pretty much completes the puzzle of the entire level, and that will thus lower the water level so we can continue the other chapter.
Very important pickup right here. It's easy to forget. This guy has more incendiary shurikens, and those are going to be pretty valuable still.
Yeah, and you can buy, like the incendiary shurikens, you can buy more arrows. I didn't think to do that. I thought you had to blow up that wall with the shuriken, but you can do that too. That's a lot faster.
Yeah, that's why I actually kept it equipped from Chapter 10. It's part of the... Oh my gosh.
Dude, it was RNG manipulation.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta respect this game because you get punished for stuff that you deserve to get punished for, and it punishes really hard for that. It's like, so if you fell on, you probably would have lost like 15 seconds or something like that. But I mean, it's not exactly holding your hand through the entire game at all.
All right, so now I get full potions.
Yeah. So we upgraded the lunar to level 3. kind of a beast of a weapon.
Yeah. So like we said, Gleaming Blade is still generally the best move to use on most enemies, but there are a few enemies, particularly like just large bosses, where the Lunar is going to be super useful with a move which, if you don't know the combos, forward Y Y. I highly recommend trying that if you haven't yet, and you'll see it very soon on the next boss. You can do a quick donation if you like.
Sure, I've got one from Run 221. It's $100. And he says, Doctors Without Borders being supported by Gamers Without Limits. Good luck, everyone, and keep up the good cause.
This is probably my favorite song in the game.
Yeah.
This is good. The soundtrack is,
Yeah, it's super sick.
yeah, I've listened to this like countless times. It's really nostalgic too. This is one of my favorite games.
All right, so here's that big menu I've been talking about. In front of this chest, what you can do, if you have full big potions, you can use one here and use that to get full health, but I mean, close enough. So anyway, we're going to do that, get more Ninpo. We're going to use this to upgrade Inazuma. It's going to be useful mostly in Chapter 15. And, yeah. Equip Lunar Incendiaries. Picking up the sword here, which is going to be used to allow me to access the boss of this level, which is pretty Monka-S as well.
That's very, very Monka-S. Yeah.
The difference between a good fight here and a bad fight can be a matter of like 5 minutes, or not 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Like 50 seconds is what I was thinking, like something like that. And you can use a lot of potions here if you're not careful, but the idea is you hit the legs, it brings the head down, use fire wheels, and then you can do a lot of damage with that combo I mentioned, forward YYY.
Now, there is a finishing attack to that combo. Like, you can hit Y an additional time, and it will do like an ender, basically. But there is a lot of recovery on the ender. So what's Mike is not opting to do that to basically save time. And the majority of the damage that's done during that combo is usually the before you can do that ender. That was a sick boss fight.
Thank you.
You killed like Bone Dragon guy, like version 2.
I got kind of lucky because he stayed in place the whole time.
That was some pretty good luck, yeah. That's some pretty good RNG.
So now for the water level.
Jolly Roger Bay.
I hope you have a lot of donations ready for this one.
Candace, as a matter of fact, I do. I have a $25 donation from Hector, not the trench coat guy. He says, comment, Ninja Gaiden speedrun is amazing. Thank you for killing Alma. You're doing the Lord's work. Also, buy the animals' tiny hats. Got $100 from Dracanis. He says, Ninja Gaiden Black is one of my favorite games, and beating it on Master Ninja difficulty is still one of my proudest gaming moments. It's awesome to see it being run at GDQ for an awesome cause. Okami Kara's 23 sends in $15 to Doctors Without Borders and says that they've been watching for years and they had to donate during this fantastic run. I've gone through 2 discs of this game and still love it. Keep it up, Mike. You've got this. Also, save the animals.
Thank you.
I've got a $25 donation from DMC. Says, exciting to see some Ninja Gaiden. What? Being run by Mike? Even late at night? And a great couch to boot. Donation goes to Runner's Choice.
That's kill the animals. Sorry, launched out there. You don't like that? By the way, have we introduced the couch? Have we said who you guys are? I forget.
I'm Demon Smalls. I don't know a whole lot about this game.
You're for eye candy, man. I'm just some guy that walked in from the street. So,
Yeah, that's who he is.
yeah.
And the runner, I know we've said his name a few times, but that is The Mike Canis 999 rolls unfathomably deep, my son. Or you can just call him Mike Canis if you want. I don't.
So that password will always be 0971. What he picked up was called the Owl's Eye, which allows him to see in dark spots, which oddly enough is only used in this level. It doesn't really come in handy ever again, to my knowledge. You pretty much pick up that item to be able to see what you're looking at down there. Okay, Mike is probably going to want to focus here for a very good reason.
Oh no, I forgot the oxygen tank, didn't I?
Oh, well,
Well,
I guess you got to make
I
do.
think the run's over, guys.
Yeah, okay,
I'm
okay,
gonna
yeah.
die here.
Okay, so an old strat, I mean, well, rather the intended strat is to get the oxygen tank. Pretty much lets you breathe underwater infinitely. As you can see here, he's running really low on oxygen, and then he's going to gradually deplete health. So Mike is going to skip that, and by skipping the oxygen tank, it saves pretty much exactly like a minute and 10 seconds. So it's pretty vital that you do this.
Yeah.
But it's also really scary because you're using up just about every resource that you have as far as healing items.
Yep.
In addition, as we talked about earlier, if you drown, the Talisman of Rebirth does not activate. So you don't have that get out of jail free card, you know, because ideally what you would like to do is let your health run as low as possible so you can heal yourself back up. So, you know, to kind of cut down on resources.
Yep.
But it's also really scary.
And
So-
two notes about that. Canis still hasn't saved, and
That's a very good point.
yep.
You still have not saved.
I
And,
don't
Are you going to save at all?
Nope.
No?
And
mean,
also,
well,
we saw the
no.
first use of the Inazuma there to clear that room. That move is pretty strong,
Yeah.
as Canis mentioned earlier.
Yeah. It's probably the most efficient Ninpo as far as like taking out enemies in the room.
Yep, yeah, it's definitely a good room
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah. So you're not going to save?
I have backup saves for like every part of the runs.
Oh.
At
Yeah,
worst
he
case,
has-
we just do that.
He has like, I think you said like 19?
29.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
29 saves. So yeah, no matter where anything bad happens, I can just get right back to it. Although, of course, that would sort of make it illegit. So I really hope that doesn't happen. So
Invalid run, dude.
yeah, dude. This might actually be on PB pace. So like, kind of.
World record. You're
Yep, dude, this is world record run right here.
Yeah, yeah. That'd be so sick if you got it, dude. I'm rooting for you, man.
Same.
That'd be awesome.
This is called the Dive of Death. You're definitely supposed to have the oxygen tank for this, and by the end of it, I'm going to have only one big potion left over.
This part is Monka-esque to the extreme.
Yeah.
Chad.
This is where I was talking about earlier. You're going to be using a lot of your...
Yeah.
Like before, it was fine, but here is huge.
Like if I fail to locate the start button, and then the run's in trouble. So starting now, health is going to start draining, and I want to, of course, try to milk this draining health as far as I can before using the potion, but don't want to go too far. So a little earlier than normal for marathon safety. So just use that and keep going.
Yeah.
And if you want that cage over there to the left, if you want to start running this yourself and have like more of an intermediate route, you can go into that cage first to get your oxygen back, and you'll only use 2 big potions that way. Yeah, it's of course a little bit slower, but still way faster than actually getting the oxygen tank.
Yeah, it's probably about a 30-second difference. But at the cost of not having your run die.
Yep. So after the most boring level in the game, we actually have one of the best bosses here, Samurai Darth Vader, aka Doku.
Yeah, this guy's kind of a
This
beast.
fight's really cool too.
So using the Vigorian flails, not necessarily because of the damage they do, but the way this combo I'm using, which by the way is XYY, it's like the perfect length combo to where like your iframes during the combo always happen to be like right when he tries to attack you. So it's like it's doing the dodging for you basically. So it might be a little bit faster to use the Dragon Sword if you get basically lucky with it.
Yeah, using the Gleaming Blade to get it's so risky because during that he can kill you. But you do a lot of damage during it. It's kind of.
But yeah, another thing is if you play Mike Tyson's Punch Out, I see this game, this fight is basically that.
Is Mike Tyson?
Yeah, that guy, he chunked us pretty hard there.
You generally never want to attack him unless he attacks first, so it's just a matter of dodge, stick and move, bite like a mosquito, whatnot. Cool. More donations. Actually, there's a really cool trick coming up at the start of this chapter. Then we can do them.
So the mechanic to extend your height and horizontal gain, he's going to be using that right here to actually skip this insanely annoying puzzle.
Yeah, it's so annoying, but all you need to do is this, throw a shuriken for more height, press Y, and you can pop right up there. And then if I can get this, then I've just sequence broken the entire thing.
GG's.
Yeah, that's safe.
That's like
Yeah,
several minutes.
A lot of time.
That's a lot of time saved right there. Pretty important, speedrunners just kind of do the unintended.
So just running around now, you can do donations.
Sure, I've got one here from Joe110. It's a $25 donation. He says, "Is there a broccoli incentive?"
It should be.
Could be.
I have
So destroy it.
I have $150 from Aaron R. He says, "This is one of my favorite games of all time. I spent so many hours in high school grinding up to Master Ninja difficulty, but alas, never beat that mode. This game is so deep. I'd love for the crowd to hear more about things like the unique scoring systems and how the game changes with difficulty level."
First of all, you gotta beat Master Ninja, man. That should be your new task for the week. Forget about work, school, whatever you're doing. Do that.
Just quit your job. Beat Master Ninja right now. Just drop everything.
So yeah, there are actually 3 more difficulties above normal, and you unlock each one of those as you beat them in sequential order. And as you go up in the difficulties, the main things that happen are the enemies start to do more damage, their AI gets a little bit better. You can also, you can't carry as many potions, and that to me is probably the most painful part of it. If you're accustomed to having 5 like full health potions wherever you go, then you can kiss that goodbye.
I don't think the Talisman of Rebirth is on very hard.
Is it?
I don't know.
It might not give you a free one, but you can definitely still use it.
Yeah. If it even, because it's like 10,000 essence in this game, or in this mode. But I think like in harder difficulties it's like 30.
Yeah, it's so expensive.
Yeah, so
for sure.
and I know for a fact that you don't get a free one in harder difficulties. Yeah.
So this is close to my favorite chapter, probably second favorite.
I'd say this is my favorite.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Like dodging all this lava here is, well, a little difficult.
Yo, Ryu falling in lava.
I was distracted by that
Yeah,
white
no
line.
problem.
No big deal.
Even Mario jumps out of this stuff, but Ryu's just like, it burns, I guess.
I don't know.
He flinches a little. It's
So
fine.
we just skip here as well. Throwing shuriken to get a little extra height there.
The little fetch quest you have to do here is you got to collect 4 pieces of iron ore, and what that'll allow you to do is you put him in this pot. And he's gonna go over to. There's interesting routing.
Actually, I have a plan here. I'm gonna do a marathon safety strat here. Here.
Oh.
If you go up here, there's a chest that will refill my health, and it has 5,000 more essence.
Bro, you know more about this game than I do. What?
Yeah, I don't recommend getting that if you're like really trying to go fast, but because it's a marathon, I want to be able to afford like extra potions, you know, in chapter 14 if I need them.
Wow.
Also, because I just am cheap and I didn't want to use a potion there, but I still should actually use it. So anyway, yep, fire and ice can coexist just fine in this cave.
It's a reusable blacksmith.
And we're back to the ice. Although here's a newish kind of skip. First of all, I'm going to jump in here, take damage, hopefully not mess this up. There you go.
Ooh,
That was sick.
Nice.
Oh,
That wasn't.
denied.
Yeah, that's a classic, man. That's
Uh-huh. I see. Oh, okay.
nice. Yeah. Yeah, the deal is whenever you fall in the lava, that's the majority of the damage that you take from the lava. But if you stay in it, your health slowly drains. But obviously, repeatedly going into the lava is going to drain your health much faster. So that's pretty much what you want to avoid.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey man, he's just trying to train up, man. Just slashing the sword.
All right, so we're going to switch to Lunar again. It's good against this next boss here.
That guy looks like a Kazu.
What?
Am I getting the good pattern? Yes, I got the pattern. Oh, never mind. Oh, I should have used fire wheels there. Sometimes you'll get a pattern during this fight where he actually just stands there until he's almost dead. He doesn't even do a move. So here we go, using iframes from fire wheels. And he's gone.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason I was expecting a cutscene there. Did it just skip a cutscene?
Yeah, totally, dude.
Like, I don't remember seeing him, like, dying. Weird. Anyway, got the Eye of Ice. Now we gotta get the Eye of
Dude,
Fire.
you found new tech?
Yeah, cutscene skips, dude. Slowly will become Ocarina of Time.
Dude.
I mean, we found an out of bounds earlier today.
Yeah. Walls don't
Yeah,
exist.
see, so that's the thing about this speed run. This is any %. So, to our knowledge, this is the quickest way to go about beating the game. There's not like any credits, warps. There's no like,
Big out of bounds.
Yeah,
There's the game, like we said at the beginning, is pretty pure.
yeah. So, yeah, to our knowledge, like, beating the game fast is just playing every single chapter like quickly. We don't know of any out of bounds like major glitches or anything. I don't even know if we do any glitches at all.
Oh, we do. But, you know, the boss in chapter 15, but we'll get to that. Well, I guess it's a glitch.
I don't know.
It might not be, actually.
Yeah. There's that whole banter, like, is it a glitch or is it an exploit, you know?
Yeah,
So there's that.
it would exist in bug limit, let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
No, don't want to do that move. So I could have done a lot of damage there, but I didn't.
So now
There you go.
we're fighting a fire worm. So we fought like 2 electric worms, and then we're fighting a fire worm. And this guy is a lot more deadly.
Yeah, like his projectile attack is quite a bit harder to dodge.
Yeah, it's like a huge ring, and it's got a massive
Yeah,
hitbox.
fortunately, we didn't see it. All right, so here comes easily one of the scariest but also coolest strats in the run. It can sort of make or break the entire run, so I hope it goes well.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't think I've ever seen it happen. Like, you know what I
Let's
mean?
just say
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy to do in a marathon, but
Well, you haven't saved, so I mean, may as well.
if you can locate the start button, then it should be okay. But you'd be surprised how easy it is to, like, you'll notice your health is too low, and I should probably use a potion, but nah, man, I got it, and then you're dead.
You still got a talisman.
Like, err on the side of overhealing in this game, I would say. All right, so yeah, I hope this goes well.
This game really does have everything. Now we're fighting a dragon. A knockbone dragon.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude.
This strat's pretty insane. Yeah, you can see the chunks of HP he loses when he goes in the lava right there. So
Okay, that saves a lot of time.
Yeah.
That saves a lot of
A
time.
lot of time for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Let me think about
And if
it.
you notice there at the beginning, Mike was shooting the bow and arrow. There's like an odd chance that the arrows that he shoots can hit twice for some reason. And we're not really sure why that happens, but you know, it's obviously good. So
Yeah,
we're not
there's
really
not much
complaining.
else you can do while it's coming
Yeah,
towards
yeah,
you.
yeah. Ooh, that is a dang.
Is it good? I
Yeah,
don't
that
know.
is a sick time. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So here comes Alma 2. Fortunately, we still have the Talisman of Rebirth, but coming up next is a boss that can kill you so fast you won't even like realize it's happening. You'll be like, oh, game over.
Yeah. Not to mention killing her. Like,
Right.
yeah, it's not easy.
yeah.
So yeah, if this were like a PB attempt and I knew I was like on pace, which I might be, but I don't know, so I'm just gonna ignore that.
You're on world record pace, Mike.
Definitely not. But
Yeah.
basically, this boss is normally gonna make or break the entire run. I'm not as
Yeah.
worried about it today because of all the potions I still have, but
Yes.
sometimes you'll only have one potion to use.
Uh-huh. Yeah, see, like, this game's, it's pretty hardcore because, like, this, we're like, I mean, we're going to be like an hour and a half in, and you can be on, like, some sick pace and just get completely horrible luck on this upcoming boss, and your run's over. And it's like an hour and a half reset. It's pretty rough, you know?
Yeah.
So you got to go back and do this and the whole thing again. You know, let's go down there.
That hole, like, just it really wants to pull me under.
Let's drag you into the shadow realm.
I've actually fallen that hole more times
Oh,
than
I've
I'd
done
like
that.
to.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like to admit, but this chapter has a lot of just like backtracking, so feel free to do donations.
Absolutely. Got so many that I really want to read here. This one's from Dr. Dom Von Doom. It's a $25 donation. And they say, Ninja Gaiden Black destroyed me as a younger man, and seeing this has made me dig into my closet and begin to exact my revenge. Also, that vinyl will look really nice between my Ocarina of Time vinyl and Banjo-Kazooie soundtrack vinyl, and kill those animals. Got a $25 donation from Easeweeze. They say, my friends and I have been talking about how much we want to see this run at a GDQ, but how it would make us all feel like inadequate gamers. Good luck to Mike on this run, and save the animals. Got a $25 donation here from Grand Moore. He says, hey GDQ, a longtime watcher, first time donator. This Ninja Gaiden Black is making the game look easy. Great run. Keep up the good work, Mike Canis. Donation goes towards naming the Prinny Dude. What? It's a Disgaea thing. It's Ninja Man X sends in $25 and says, do you guys not know the conspiracy theory? They're trying to cover it up, but broccoli is flat.
Wow.
We still like the broccoli donations. I have another one. Spencer W. Hall, again on the broccoli, sends $40.60, and he says, thank you for reading my previous donation, although that one was a lie. Broccoli is actually a vegetable. However, not eating broccoli is like skipping leg day, and I know you guys would never do that.
Never. All right, so this is like the main quest of the entire game. You're pretty much going to be collecting all these tablets. And after we get all three, quite frankly, if you're playing this game casually, it's pretty easy to miss like one or two tablets, and then you're just kind of like looking up a walkthrough, like, you know, what happened? Like, what do I do? Because you've missed the tablets. So you have to place them there. And then we kind of have a blast from the past and get the best weapon in the game, the true Dragon Sword. And this is when Ultra Instinct Ryu happens.
It actually, you know what? It does kind of look like that, like the glow to it.
Yeah.
It's
It's-
definitely got the.
Yeah, this is when stuff goes down, for sure.
Yeah, so entering Alma 2, Yeah, I'm definitely going to be focusing
But
pretty hard
but
on
still,
this one.
Alma 2 is a bad fight.
Yeah.
Even with Ultra Instinct for you.
I mean, it's largely just
Yeah.
like I got to get lucky, so let's see what happens here.
Drop
Good
your
luck.
bless RNGs.
Good
in
luck,
chat.
dude. Yeah. That's
Good start.
That's a great start. So basically, Alma has like a lot of different attacks, and he's getting really good RNG so far. And then you're pretty much going to be wanting to farm a Flying Swallow to knock her down, and then you're just going to do the Gleaming Blade. But as you can see, it's just heavily luck-based. Oof. She's not being...
Oh,
Did he?
That was a great fight, dude.
Okay,
Yeah, that was actually
world record pace. Let's go.
pretty good.
World record pace. That...
Nice. No potion. Did she even hit me?
No, she didn't.
I don't think she hit me.
Was that the first damageless Alma 2 ever?
I doubt it. Yeah, I'm
We'll just
pretty
say it was.
surprised how well that went.
Mikey, that was the first Alma 2 damageless. Just accept it. Okay, so that was like incredibly important. It didn't, like on the surface, it was kind of like, you know, that wasn't really that great. But Alma can do some nasty stuff to you. And that fight, in my opinion, maybe not even my opinion, it probably just is the worst fight in the game.
Yeah, if that
hands
fight,
down.
if that fight goes wrong, it goes very, very wrong.
Yeah. She can like scoop you up. Nice red drop there. She can like scoop you up and do all these attacks and like just pretty much one-shot you if you're not careful.
Thankfully,
So-
with some of her attacks, if you match, pause, you can get into your menu and potion before she kills you.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
she can absolutely just one-shot you.
Yeah. It's a horrible fight.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't believe me, just boot up the game and do it
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
You're our guest.
So many tries you can do it. So these are this is just kind of like a it's quite frankly a really good place to farm money. I mean, this is kind of like a required section anyway. These things are called pill bugs, and he's going to be going over to this next room. He's going to pretty much do this like little, it's like a low IQ puzzle. You know, you're just, you know, just placing the stones in the correct threshold. But every time he does that, these little pill bugs come out, and a really easy and fast way to dispatch them is do an Ozma. And he's going to be doing that. And he got lucky in the first one. He got a few red drops, which allows him to not have to go into the menu as much, conserve resources, etc.
Yeah, it's actually a new strat, if you can even call it that, to actually just go ahead and spam Inazuma or Inazuma for the first fight over and over and over again, and you can even afford to use one of your potions there if you've been keeping up with the item route. And that's an example of what I said at the beginning of like we haven't been using our Ninpo effectively. That saves like 20 seconds, even though you have to spend 5 seconds getting another one of those potions later.
Right.
But the second fight, I used a different move there. That's the UT for Lunar. That
Can we talk about how cool that attack looks?
dude, it's
yeah,
awesome.
it's super sick.
I mean, yeah. First time I saw that, I was like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
And when you kill the bugs with that move, you get extra money. So with that, we'll actually be able to see how much money I got between levels here.
I think you're like Jeff Bezos level right now. you got a lot of money. Yeah.
Especially because that chapter 12. Okay, yeah, so that's over 13K. With that, might even be able to afford another talisman.
Yeah,
or
an extra
rebirth.
talisman. Yeah. That'd be.
That'd be super sick.
Yeah, Talisman of Rebirth in this mode is only 10,000 essence.
It's
Mike
actually
has,
15, but
Is it
still,
15?
yeah, it's
Oh,
a lot though.
yeah. So if he chooses, which I doubt he will, based on how he's been playing, he can buy another Talisman of Rebirth without really that many repercussions. They do cost a lot of money. But at the same time, he's going to have 2 get-out-of-jail-free cards, kind of ensuring that he'll be able to complete this run without much trouble.
Yeah, because we haven't really started touching on the final boss fight yet, and he hurts.
Kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah. If your health bar isn't completely full, they can actually just one-shot you, even if it's just a teeny tiny bit below full. so you gotta be careful.
So this is chapter 14. Not really a whole lot to it. Basically, the ghost of Doku is not really happy with you. He's kind of mad. He kind of wants the salty run back, basically. Like, you know, he's just kind of like, he beat me. So it turns into like a ghost, and he's just not happy. So he pretty much has you follow him into this like weird maze, you know. But then he's a pretty bad boss fight, but you'll see how much damage you can do to him in a very rapid succession.
Yeah.
Yeah. He can hurt you pretty badly, but you can do just that back to him.
Yeah, the True Dragon Sword is definitely pretty big enhancement.
All right, so this is the last shop in the game, so I'm thinking pretty hard about what I want to get here. Okay, so I'm definitely going to need those. So get that, and what the heck.
So you did do it.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really cost
I mean,
much
you may as
time.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that right there is going to be the last time that Mike is actually going to have access to the shop. So you may as well consume all your essence. Like, you know, why wouldn't you buy the extra talisman?
So yeah, now if I were to die, like I have to actually be killed 3 times to actually die. So there's,
Yeah.
I don't want to jinx this, but there's a very low chance that this run will have problems at this point.
Yeah. No.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
But
You're sitting pretty.
yeah, it's pretty good situation going on right now. So.
Birds are jerks, in case anyone doesn't know that, and ghost fish are definitely birds.
Yeah.
They fly.
Oh yeah, the ghost fish. Yeah, everybody hates these.
Ghost birdfish.
Yeah, I didn't even mention the tech. I'm sure. Oh, nice.
Yeah, they do that, and they don't stop doing that, and they will do that forever.
Yep.
But an easy, it's like a very simple cheese. What all you do to avoid it is you can just, I mean, Mike is opting to run on the wall just to save a little bit of time. But an easy way to do that is just to do jumping X, jumping X, jumping X everywhere you go. And the ghost fish will not touch you whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't do that, you're not going to have fun, and you might break a controller or something.
Yeah, I think most people, what they do, and I certainly did for many years, is bust out like the flails and basically fight them all until they're gone.
Well, they like infinitely respawn, I think, don't they?
After like, it depends on the area.
Yeah. I do like that strat. He is opting to run on the wall, and then he's doing the jumping X.
Yeah, it's a little more distance with speed.
Yeah, because as you can see there, the jumping X definitely has like at least a second of recovery. So by Mike running on the wall like that, he's saving some precious seconds versus, you know, not having to deal with the massive recovery.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, they're annoying.
I tried to
And
jump there, and
that-
I ran on the wall too long to actually jump off of it. There you go. All right, definitely should use a potion here. I know I have 2 talisman, but yeah, I'm hoping to just keep those, to be honest. So. All right, getting that to work can be a pain.
Yeah.
So here's
Yeah,
Doku
yeah.
2. That
So this
glass
is
cannon.
this is probably the most DPS you'll be able to do on a boss in the game.
See that? So here's a new safe strat I do is I go to a distance, and when you get far enough away from him, you bait him into doing a charge. See right there?
Jebait.
Exactly. And when he charges at you, he can't defend himself. So look, yeah, he's ready to charge. When he gets in my face, boom. Man, this might PB.
No, it's gonna world record.
It's going to world record.
World record. That Alma 2 fight pretty much set in stone. You're gonna
Yeah,
world record.
that's
You're gonna record.
good.
Don't choke.
Chapter 15. Dude.
Just have a perfect chapter 15.
Yeah,
no big
it's
deal.
easy.
Yeah,
It's
the hardest
Easy game.
yeah, hardest chapter in the game. No joke.
Yeah.
We're like spouting out some memes here, but like chapter 15 is by far the most difficult, enduring chapter in the game,
Nightmarish
without
is a
question.
good word.
Without question, it's very long and has pretty much a chain of boss fights where I mean, not that it matters, he's not going to save, but I mean, you can't save during, like, you get one save point and then you have to fight like 10 minutes of like boss fights and you have to, you know, do all this stuff, but you'll see for yourself how bad this chapter really is. An average time for chapter 15 in a speed run probably be like 13, 14 minutes. So you can kind of base it off of that. That's like 13, 14 minutes of intense, like non-stop, like Monka-esque like action that you have to deal with. And this is 100% like the biggest run killer in the speed run.
Yeah, you can be a minute ahead and easily just fall behind.
Yeah.
Just one fight at a time, because this chapter has so many forced encounters. You actually have to fight things, not run by them.
Yeah.
And each one of those, you can end up losing like 10 seconds to your PB, and before you know it, All right, so now you're gonna see what I've been saving up for this whole time. Like, I've been
level 2
setting
Nazma.
up to basically spam this over and over again.
I'm also going to note that Mike has done a really good job talking during like certain parts of the run. It's not exactly easy to do that during this run. It requires a ton of focus and.
Oh, dang! Yeah. So I didn't quite ration out the Nimpo the way I wanted. Oh, look at this idiot, dude!
Did he just bonk him?
Wow, I'm surprised that hit me. All right.
He's Link, dude. Bonked into the wall.
So probably lost 15 seconds or so in that room. But this is where the route to get scarabs or not is sort of debated. You can save, like almost every time, you can save time in that room if you have the Debilero, which is what you get if you turn in 15 or 20 scarabs.
20. Yeah, 20. There's 50 in the entire game.
So you can save time doing that, but you're going to basically spend a minute getting that with all the scarabs. So I don't think it saves enough time to be worth a minute of sacrifice, because, I mean, this Inazuma is really good. Especially in this room, because you have like all the little bugs.
Yeah.
Give me that health. All right, come on now. These guys keep running into walls. Like, that's normal difficulty for you.
They're trying to play Zelda.
Found Boots' first item in his rando seed and just went ham.
Oh, nice. Are we doing that?
Ooh. Right, you want to grab as many of those red orbs as you can. That's like candy for me right now, because every single one of those is another cast of Inazuma. And that's where sort of RNG becomes a big factor in this tower, because sometimes you can end up with way more free Ninpo casts than others.
Yeah, so, and another thing that you get for a reward for collecting scarabs, I think like if you collect 10, you actually get another Spirit of the Devil, which will, he skipped the scarab, so normally he would have 4 slots for the Ninpo, which is actually a pretty big deal, granted that the Great Devil Elixir completely restores, so that's like 1 extra Ninpo that he could have, and that's like a pretty big deal.
So taking out that guy first is really big deal.
Yeah.
I chained in the essence from the fish outside so that I could immediately do my strongest attack on him. And they have a special ability where only in this chapter they can grab you from underground and tug you into the floor
you gotta
below.
love that, dude.
Yeah, so that's like a minute time lost if they're able to do that. So I actually, because of that, I routed this next room, which has 4 of those, so that, like, no matter what happens, I'm just going to spam Ninpo until they're gone.
Yeah. I mean, being on world record pace, you know. So this is the last, like, kind of annoying room. There's 4 in total. You got to put the deity statues or whatever you call them.
Yeah, hopefully I didn't forget any.
Yeah.
Nice freebies. So yeah.
All right.
So 2 Inazuma takes these guys out. So just go ahead and use 4. I recommend You can try to fight them, but if you get pulled underground, then you're going to be in a world.
Yeah. You'll lose your world record pace run. That's what'll happen.
So that's it for the forced. Well, actually, never mind. From here on out, it's mostly just a boss rush. There are a few more forced, like regular enemy encounters, but for the most part, all regular enemies are gone. I want that red. Give me the red. Is it worth
The
it?
struggle. All right.
I don't think it's even worth it at that point. All right, so I have full potions, so I can actually use this, get full health, grab this, immediately have full potions again. Come on, get out of the way.
So this is the section that I was talking about. We're going to be doing this room, and then after we complete a series of like fighting the little purple dudes, we're going to go into another room. We're going to fight a boss that we've never seen before, and then we're going to do that again and again, and then we're going to fight that little dude on top. It's a pretty interesting sequence of events.
Yeah, it's a perfect way to end a video game, I think. Just like increase the amount of bosses as you go, and then have one epic chapter with just tons of bosses.
Yeah, like Mega Man X.
Exactly.
Boss rush. Yeah.
We've never seen this guy before.
No. Except this time, the second time we fought him, the amount of health that he had didn't change, but this time he has a lot more health.
Yeah.
Getting a 2-cycle here is very unlikely. I'd say the only way to do it would to be the fire wheel, but that would consume Ninpo, menu time, etc. So it's probably just worth it to not worry about the 1 cycle or the 2 cycle.
Yeah, and the best segmented run, because people do run segmented runs. They didn't get 2 cycle on
2018
this guy.
segmented runs.
I know, right? Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was very lucky.
You're getting pretty lucky with the red drops, dude.
That's what I was banking on, man.
Yeah, well,
Everything in this run has been pretty lucky, but there are a couple more very important luck-based things, and one of them will be happening with this soy boy right here.
you just said that.
We'll see. Something interesting is going to hopefully happen to that guy in about a minute. These guys are very annoying.
Oh, so you don't opt to use the Inazuma in this fight?
Yeah, because you only get 2 spawn at once, and if you get good ET techniques, you can take them out faster.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's only 7 of them.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to switch to fire wheels
I
for
agree.
this, just as safety.
Yeah.
I'm even tempted to heal. Like, look at my health. Just so you know, like, how crazy this game can be. Like, I might actually need to heal with that much health to not get killed in one hit to this thing right
So
here.
another brand new boss. You know,
Yeah, that guy looks like a Kazu.
See, that was.
deja vu.
All right, I'm going to use one of these.
Now you need to heal for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he gets you with a grab mainly,
He's a big boy.
the grab will almost one-shot you with full health.
Yeah.
With that attack,
Oh, just one.
it's like half of it.
Yeah.
So this move right here is very annoying.
Yeah.
He becomes invulnerable when he does this.
Wow, nice
Yeah.
dude. It's probably about 5 seconds of time lost. You know, so there was like 15 seconds gone right there versus damage you could have done. So in addition to the long, difficult, enduring, you also have like a bit of RNG, which hopefully this next boss fight
We'll go the way
we'll
we wanted to.
go pretty well. And
Yeah.
this is a huge exploit, and if he gets it like really quickly, it's gonna be so hype.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
All right. I do actually sort of use an audio cue for this though, so I want to listen to this. That's it. I didn't do it. I thought he was going to. If
I
he's-
saw that, was like, oh my god, dude.
It's always after he does a volley of fireballs. Of course. I'm waiting for him to use a certain move. This one.
so satisfying to do, right? That's so
Yeah.
sick.
So that's the thing I was talking about where I'm not sure if you could really call that a glitch. I think it's basically a glitch. If you use the... Where's the exit, please? Okay. If you use the Inazuma, when he's in the middle of that dive bomb attack with the right timing, the lightning will hit him right as he lands. And for whatever reason, that keeps him stun locked so long as you continue to hit him without much time between hits. I don't want those.
It's a pretty major exploit.
Ooh,
I mean,
don't use that. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, it's a massive exploit, quite frankly. And versus trying to fight him regularly, I mean, there's a few different ways. You can do the lunar, you can do the Buster Sword method. You can fight him, but that's obviously the fastest. And at first, we thought he was going to do that attack and he was going to get basically the God RNG. But he kind of had to farm out some RNG for that to happen. But
It was still faster than a normal kill for sure.
absolutely, yeah.
And here we are now in the climax.
And you still haven't saved.
Yeah, all that's left in the whole game is we have 2 bosses, an escape sequence, and then the final boss. So get hype. All right, starting with the Emperor.
Okay.
So it has 3 hitboxes, the shoulders and the chest. And
Oh, nice RNG.
Yeah. Alright. Oh no. Bear in mind, I still have those Talisman of Rebirth. Also, after the first time you stun... Oof, that was so close to being like a really good thing. Alright. Come on, get close. Get close! No, dude. Alright, so there goes one of those, unfortunately.
That's fine. You're setting up for the next fight.
Just one more hit, just one little slash.
Yeah, you got.
All right, so this fight's really, really important. So I can focus on this. All right.
Or you're not doing the loud strat.
Where are you going in with the Inazuma?
Yeah.
That's too crazy. All right. So there's one opportunity, basically. One opportunity to do a lot of damage to this boss. By the way, by going in the menu like that, it lets me chain cast fire wheels. without delay.
I see. That's useful.
Come on now. Come on, dude. All right, I had to let
nice.
that go a little early, but yeah, that's what I meant. That's your one opportunity to do that, which does quite a bit of damage.
Oh.
All right, so with that, it's mostly dead.
Yeah. So, I mean, you pretty much has to just like fire off arrows. So there is a strat that you can do with the Inazuma. So what you do is you jump in the lava and you get right up like under the skeleton spider, whatever you want to call it. And you fire off the Inazuma and it does like a lot of damage, but it pretty much maxes out the volume to like 600%.
That's part of why I don't
And
do
like,
it.
it's so loud, but it's so funny because a bunch of what faces appear in chat and you're just like, yeah, it's so much. The funny thing is, it's like it's a really fast strat, but it's also like a huge meme too because it just maxes out the speakers.
All right, all that's left is an escape sequence and the final boss. I really hope I don't fall in this lava.
I don't either. I really hope you don't.
It would be.
This is a huge choke point.
Yeah. Oop. Yeah, that's not what I'd like to see.
I'm just gonna let you do it.
So if you fall in the lava early enough, you can still make it back up top. But either way, it'd be like over a minute lost if I fall in the lava, and there's a good chance I would just straight up die. So let's go. Ooh, that was close. Yeah. I'm going to be extra careful here. So, by the way, so you know, the timer is on the final hit of the final boss. Once his health bar disappears and the screen flashes white, that'll be time. Just want to tell you well in advance because I'm not going to be thinking about that when I'm actually fighting.
I got you, man. I got you.
All right.
You didn't fall. All right.
All right.
Here we go.
Final boss. I wish we could watch the cutscene before this. All right. I'm gonna play it super safe here and even use potions at that much health. I know I still have another talisman, but I don't even want to use it if I can help it.
This guy hits like a truck.
Yeah. And he's one of the few bosses where you can't like predictably get an attack in safely. Like he has such low recovery on his hits that, by the way, time is like coming up right now.
Time.
That's a PB.
It probably is a PB. Yo, nice, yeah. It is
You got a PB, dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yo.
That's what I like to see, man.
See the in-game time. Yeah, it's even an in-game time PB. So yeah, some people go by that more so than
Yeah,
RTA.
yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty good. That's Ninja Gaiden Black for you guys.
That is the best game ever made, Ninja Gaiden Black, by Mike Candace.
Yep, thank you very much, guys. Shout outs to the Chronic crew, Rolling Deep crew, people in the whatever Discord, all the people who follow my stream, my family, my friends. Appreciate all you've done for me.
Congratulations,
Thanks,
guys. On your new, freshly acquired PB.
Yeah, I'm gonna need the highlight for that VOD there.